As I started planting last year, I thought, I really need to be intentional about setting myself up for success. So I had a tote box, like a bin that didn't have a lid, and so I decided to use that for all of my soil. I had just a couple of little bags, and then Grant put in some garden soil mix that we had, so I mixed that all up before I put them in the pots, just so the other stuff was really, really dry. But so basically, I got these really awesome trays last year, and the bottoms like fill up with water, so then that way your seedlings stay hydrated while they are trying to grow the first couple of weeks. They're color coordinated. I don't like that there aren't enough of one color to fit a full tray. Otherwise, I could just write down like green means this plant or whatever. So, but I made plant labels for when I transplant these seedlings into bigger pots when they sprout, because I like to plant several seeds in these tiny cups, and then once they start sprouting, then I split them into bigger pots. That way I don't have to have a ton of room to begin with on plants that are not actually surviving. So the seeds that I decided to plant today, the slender beans and bush beans, are a couple of years old, the seeds, so I plant several in them. I think I did 3 or 4 in each of them. And that's just in case they don't take. But so I fill up all of these cups, and then I only did 2 trays because that's the amount of labels that I made so far. And these are the slender bean seeds. I took them out of the original package because it was in a plastic bag, and a couple of years ago they got moldy from being in the garage and in a plastic bag. So now I store them in our basement and in one of these, I always call it like lose your tooth folder, but these little like pocket folders. And so I put in each cup, I put 3 little seeds, and then I wanted to see how tall the labels stood, which is why I did that first one. So then that way these trays come with plastic tops with little vents. So that's kind of cool, so they get enough airflow and not frost on the tops of them. And then you just kind of push them down, and you want to plant your seeds just underneath the surface, so then that way they can get the warm from the sun, and their leaves won't be underneath the soil when they do start to sprout, and then they get moldy, which is always a bummer. So then you just kind of top them off with just a little teeny bit of dirt just so they're covered. And then I go through and do that to the entire tray. And then as soon as I fill this tray, I'm going to put I don't think I had enough labels, so I ended up needing more even for this tray. But I did have some from last year. And what I was running into is like the permanent marker was rubbing off, and then I was trying to guess what variety I had in each plant. So last year I had a lot of like slender beans and bush beans mixed together, climbing, and so that was fun. I get these at Grunick's, which is right down the road from us. That's really cheap. And they are very successful seeds, so I really don't have a lot of issues with them. And I can use these bags until I run out. I don't ever worry about expired seeds really with these. They're good quality seeds. And then, and the ones that I just planted were bush beans over there. So we eat green beans almost every day in the summertime. And I will try to can them this year, but I've been unsuccessful in the past for pressure canning. But I do like pickling them. So I'm going to put each label in each one. Need to find a couple of extras. I don't think I had any bush bean extras, which is fine. So, and you just add the soil just like before over top, tiny bit. And then after I do this, I will fill the bottoms of the trays with water, but then I'll mist the tops of the soils and really make sure that each pot is saturated. to start. So then that way the seeds can get that moisture and water and then start growing. And then I did do Brussels sprouts. The sooner that I can get the first batch in the ground, the better this first crop will be. And then I will start more in midsummer and plant those. So then that way I have a second round of crop in the wintertime. So this past winter, we had Brussels sprouts all through winter, which was kind of cool. And to be honest, I kind of just tried to use as many seeds as I could because I bought a ton of clearance seeds last year after summer and have 1.5 million Brussels sprout seed packets. So, and then you just cover them just like the beans and make sure none of the seeds are showing. And now we're finished with the first round for today.